Look at this. It is 6:10, and we've got our first caller. Before we go to the caller,
excited to talk to just you.
well, so Chuck always says, one of the things that I want to encourage folks is to call in, because otherwise, all you're going to listen to is me ramble on about international news, national news, local news, and so callers calling in is so much better. So go ahead and do that at 219-845-1100. We've got our first caller. Welcome on the show.
Well, I don't blame Trump from not telling the Congress what he was going to do. Go back to the Vietnam War, and there was the Tonkin Gulf incident in which the communists sent out PT boats to try to strike a American destroyer in international waters, and he decided to strike the PT boat base. And guess what? The Kennedy Johnson administration gave the communists 1 hour notice that they can expect a aerial attack against them. So I would say Trump did the right thing, keeping the date, time, and place of striking those Iranian facilities to himself, and then not letting the Democrats know.
That's just right. We live in a different age of communication now than we did back then, where now, we get some of these folks here in Washington. All they have to do is send out a tweet, send out a text, and the entire world can change in just a few moments. Flipping through the weekend, seeing Fox News, CNN, all of these different news outlets, the Democrats were constantly complaining that, hey, Trump didn't notify Congress. Congress is the one who gets to declare war. Congress, they want to take all this power away from Trump. Yet for some reason they forget that, Obama dropped like 26,000 bombs in, a dozen different countries over his term. Biden did the same thing with drone attacks. I agree with you. I think Trump did the right thing, did what was necessary. All you have to do is go on to Twitter today, and you'll find clips of every single president, and even when they were campaigning, Hillary Clinton, for example, all of them said, we're going to take out Iran's nuclear facilities, and now it's the Monday morning pearl clutching that we're going to see. Well,
you saw the same thing with the Democrats whining about Trump calling up the California National Guard and to back up the Los Angeles police. I mean, they were obviously the chief of police said in public, we're overwhelmed, and it's obvious in terms of the way things were going that the L.A. police were overwhelmed, and the point of the National Guard is to back up the local police. And Trump did one more thing. Seeing the way the Democrats were howling and moaning and so forth about that, he decided to call up a group of Marines, federal troops, and to back up the National Guard in the event some crazy Democrat judge decided to take control of the National Guard from Trump and give it back to Newsom, the governor of California. It's craziness.
These radical judges out there. I saw a meme this morning because, my God, that's about how half of the news comes out anymore. But this one, clearly a joke, but, damn near real. It said a federal judge has ordered the Trump administration to begin rebuilding Iran's nuclear facilities. That's what these activist judges are doing, and I would not be surprised. Speaking of these activist judges, I don't know if this is where you wanted to go with this, but hey, you called in, so you're along for the ride now. They had a judge denied a request to keep that MS-13 gang member, Kilmar Garcia, in custody, the one that we brought back. This guy has a rap sheet a mile long, and one of these judges came in and said, nope, you can't detain him. Why? I don't understand. I get it. I guess I do understand where these judges come in thinking that they're activist judges, and they're just running with it.
Well, and Democrats have nothing else. They're consistent, and that is they have a history of taking criminals with extensive rap sheets and making them into saints. George Floyd, for example, they have pictures of him with like wings attached to his, like he's an angel or something. No, he was a career criminal, and when he was the particular incident where he tried to pass a fake money. I mean, that's a serious offense, and he refused to. I have relatives in Minneapolis, and I've driven by that business where that incident took place many times. And when the cops came to arrest him, he refused to get into the police car. And a crowd developed there, and they were yelling at him, "Get into the car! You know, you're just going to make matters worse." And he refused. He was no midget. I mean, he was over 6 feet tall, and again, an extensive rap record. But you go back, look at all the people that the Democrats, party and press have made heroes out of, angels out of. They all have serious criminal records, and they resist arrest.
You know, one part about the Floyd incident that I don't think too many people latch onto right away was the fact that he was attempting to pass off counterfeit bills. And I don't think folks understand what an affront to American life counterfeit money is. I mean, that's where we've got the U.S. Secret Service. You say U.S. Secret Service, your first thought is, the folks in the black suit that you're walking around the president in a diamond formation. That's what people think. But they are there. They have such a heavy presence with the Treasury Department for counterfeit money that can completely destabilize. So even these one-offs of, in some of these urban areas where you're getting some of these counterfeit dollars, that can really destabilize an area. And I don't think people understand how serious that was. There's everything else that transpired after he attempted to swindle and pass off that money that people remember George Floyd for. But that counterfeit currency is such a huge issue. And I mean, it's hitting so many small businesses. I mean, how many times do you drive through somewhere or go somewhere and they're just not accepting large bills anymore?
Yep. Even this goes back to the 2003, and I was on a group tour of communist China, and the hotel we stayed at, they had a place where you could exchange money for Chinese currency, and I had $50 bills, and they checked every bill that I gave, looking for. They checked every bill to make certain it was a good bill.
Well, to speak to counterfeit here, thanks for calling in. I appreciate it. Good hearing from you this morning. Speaking of counterfeit, I am your counterfeit host, Bob Starkey, for the next, I'd say, 18 seconds. The magnificent Chuck has just walked in the building. Your long national nightmare of me being the only voice is over. Good morning, Chuck. I don't know what number that is here, but so it is Monday, June 23rd, 2025, here on WJOB in the steamy and balmy Strachan Van Til Studios here. Morning, Chuck.
Hey, good morning. You got everybody. You're like cable news, man. You got everybody worked up. You're using words like emergency. People are texting me, like, everything okay? Like, no, everything's fine. I'm just running late.
No, it is an emergency.
No
I mean,
emergency.
the fact that we have reached the bottom of the barrel, have turned it over, flipped over the last rock, and you found me to talk for 20 minutes.
You guys did fine. You forgot to introduce the big story, though. You and Walt got right into it. You just have to remind people what happened over the weekend. Because I'm sure everybody doesn't know. I'm sure they do know, but
I agree, and I apologize, folks. The big news over the weekend.
Why don't we save it till after the commercial break?
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
I don't know.
guy
This
producing
is too big. This is too
Okay.
big.
Okay.
This
it's
is
a tease. You got to tease
it's a
it going into
tease.
the break.
Yeah, that's
The
fine.
You gotta let
round
them tease it.
the
Go ahead.
round the clock in Cherville caught fire. Perhaps an errant bomb. No.
Oh, don't make jokes like
No,
that. You don't want
no.
to be careful. You got to be careful. You don't get labeled fake news.
Fake news?
Mm-hmm.
If this isn't the definition of fake news, I don't know what is. But all right, we'll go ahead and take a break. Chuck and I will switch seats, and we will get back to the proper order of things in the morning.